All right. Let's please rise. Tonight we have the pastor from First Baptist Church, Hunter Hay, which will be leading us in a prayer, and then after that we will have Colonel Jim Stone, who will be leading the Pledge of Allegiance. I want to remind everybody that tomorrow is the anniversary of the attack on the Twin Towers in New York, and to keep the to memory of that alive. Hunter?
Let's pray. Our God, all business is your business. The leper stood outside of the city gates, Father, and Elisha said in 24 hours, a fine measure of meal will be sold for 50 cents. And they said, there's no way, and that's what happened. And our Lord, for Syria, 24 hours ago, we wouldn't see how, dear Father, but everything is your time and your business. God, guide and direct this meeting. May the hearts here, Father, be given over to you in service to this county. And I thank you for all who are present and their part in your kingdom. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Colonel?
Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, man. Bobby, if you'll call the roll.
Present. Here. 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 Here.
Here. Have a, you were sent a copy of the minutes from last meeting, which has been prepared for us. Is there any questions about the minutes from last meeting? Any revisions? Okay, then I'll look for a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion.
Jim Bush made the motion.
I'll second.
Clint Higgins is second. Excuse me.
All right, first on the agenda,
Yes.
Russell Reed,
Yes.
Todd Osborne,
Yes.
Jim Nance,
Yes.
Jim Bush,
Yes.
Evan George,
Yes.
Glenn Higgins,
Yes.
Tony Neal,
Yes.
Bob Stetson.
Yes.
Cynthia, he's wanting to get out of here tonight.
What we need to do now is elect somebody to replace Kevin Mooneyham in the 5th district where they can vote.
I had down the just opposite to where we're going to be the chairman, then the commissioner, but Bobby, with all his years of experience, said it should be the commissioner first. He agreed with
Well, that's, I think the 5th should have 2 votes as well.
that's good. So, you got a letter from Kevin Mooneyham that showed that he had moved outside of the 5th district. He's actually moved into the 4th district. And we have got to replace him. And the person that we replace will be in office until the next year's election, which comes in August. I had one letter that came out from the county executive's office that it was Kevin Mooneyham had sent to the county executive, and he has sent a copy to all members. He said that Bill Jennings had agreed to be on the list to be able to be considered for the commissioner. I had to call Bill Melton, who is Gerald Melton's brother and is a corrections officer in Rutherford County. He had asked to be put on the list. And then we have Jim Jones of Beaver Dam, who ran for the office back when everyone did in 2010, and he was the odd man out. This was the second time that Jim has run for it. Now, before we go into any of the nominations, it has been, and we had 2 people here. We now have 1 person here, Tony Neal, that ran also in the 4th District with Clint Higgins and Joe Wimberly. And Joe Wimberly had died. And Clint had recommended Tony Neal to come up here, and we reaffirmed that. Tony had ran for it. Kevin Mooneyham himself replaced Brad Hall when Brad moved out of the district. And he was the odd man out. And so that's been the tradition that we've done. And I don't see why we should break tradition, but I'm opening up the table for nominations.
I nominate Jim Jones.
We got one nomination for Jim Jones.
I second it.
Jim Bush seconded that.
I mean, that's the policy we went through before, so I don't see why we should break policy now.
Okay.
I'd kind of like to nominate Mr. Jennings, because he's been on the budget committee and stuff, and he kind of knows what's going on. Nothing against Jim or nothing, but
No,
I think
everybody.
he would be a good one.
Everybody has a right to be nominated and to go for this position if they're in the 5th District. Do we have a second on Bill Jennings?
I'll second.
Jimmy Mingle seconds that.
Jimmy Mangle.
Jimmy Mingle. Any more? The last one of Bill Melton. Okay, Bob.
Jones
Jennings.
and who else was
Jones and Jennings.
it?
Just them two.
And Bill Melton, 3.
Well, Bill Melton wasn't, no one had recognized him.
Okay, all right. I'll call your name out and you tell me who you want to vote for. Is that all right? All right, Mark Martin.
Jennings.
There's going to be any discussion before this vote?
Discussion about what?
I'd like to say a few words.
It's up to the committee, but the commission is the ones that get the vote on it.
I understand that, but.
The only reason why someone wouldn't
Address the
be,
commission about protocol.
well, you know, we're not too good on protocol. There's a
Go ahead.
Give
Go
me
ahead.
2
Let-
minutes.
the commission wants to hear it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, George.
Well, for the record, my name is Ronnie O., also known as George Pittman. I reside in the Bradyfield community at 114 Hopewell Road. I own 2 properties on the square, 104, 110 Tatum Street, and am a registered voter in the town of Woodbury. And I've been to several of these meetings where, as Bob pointed out, Kevin replaced Brad. This gentleman replaced Joe Wimmer. I remember a time Mike Gannon was chairman, and he said this is always the way we've done it, and we need to continue on that path. And, you know, I have a vested interest in what the county does in this district, and my recommendation for this would be to follow the protocol and put Jim Jones in as the commissioner.
Any more? Anyone else?
All right, we got Mark Martin, we need Russell Reed,
Mr. Jones.
Todd Ollenworth,
Bill Jennings.
Jimmy Mingles,
Jennings.
Jim Bush,
Mr. Jones.
Kevin George,
Jones.
Clint Higgins,
Mr. Jones.
Tony Neal,
Mr. Jennings.
Bob Stetson.
Mr. Jones.
1, 2, 3, 4. Elected what? Jones has got 5.
That's right.
You have to have 6 to win.
I'm not gonna get
I
I think you just have to have a majority. We ain't got but 9.
How does that
You gotta
roll
have
when you're
6 even
short
with
of?
9.
How does that work when you're short a commissioner? Oh, that,
You gotta have 6. Mark says we gotta have 6.
Okay. We're at a We have no one. So we're gonna have to go through this again, and I would welcome anybody's comments.
Anybody want to change your vote?
Anything, gentlemen, we've done it like this before. There's no use of changing midstream. I mean, in order to be stationary and to do what needs to be done, we ought to keep going to the policies we've established in the past. That's the only way we can look at it.
Hey, if you wad that policy up and throw it away, the fact of it is he actually wanted to be a commissioner
Yeah, you
at one
for it.
time.
He
He
ran
ran
for
for it, and if you don't want to be one, this sure ain't the place to be.
Right.
I mean, he wanted to be one, but
So it's up to
Well,
y'all,
it's your
gentlemen.
district, ain't it?
Yeah, it's my district, right, 5th district. And that's one of the things we also said too. We asked Clint who he wanted.
Well, that's what,
And Clint said
did
he
you
wanted
nominate,
you.
did you nominate Mr. Jones, or?
No, I didn't.
Actually, Kevin did.
Oh,
Me and Kevin.
I try not to nominate anything. I try to leave the position as chairman and open and let the other people do the
he
thing.
voted for Jim.
Yeah.
yeah. I was just, because it's your district, so I was
Yeah,
just
well, I do
asking.
recommend Jim Jones as far as that goes.
I think he showed the interest from previous elections, and I see any other reason why not to. I mean, we've done it twice in the last 8 years.
I mean, next year's the election. If people want something different, then they have the opportunity to voice their opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll change my vote, I'll
He's
vote for
1-5 to
Jones.
4, I'll change mine.
Well, he did. He did also.
Okay, that makes 7 votes. That puts Mr. Jones in.
Yeah.
That's right.
Step up here and I'll swear you in and you vote.
He gets swore in and then gets swore at.
Get 4 in my body.
You don't want me this close? All right. I do solemnly swear that I will perform with fidelity the duties of the office to which I have been elected and which I am about to assume. I do solemnly swear to support the constitutions of the Tennessee and the United States, and so to faithfully perform the duties of the office of County Commissioner representing the 5th District of County, Tennessee.
Does he need to come down and make a bond with you, Bobby?
No, they don't, commissioners don't like that.
Okay. Right here.
Right over there.
Got you covered. Got my cap too.
Sit down right there and I'll tell you how to vote.
From what I've seen up here in the past, I may need some advice.
All right, Bobby. At this time, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Bobby because this is on the election of the county commission chairman.
Okay, the floor is open for a nomination for the election of the commission chairman for the rest of this year and next August 3rd.
I'll nominate Mark Barker.
Been leading to Mark Barker. Okay, second.
I'll second.
Todd. Anybody else?
I nominate Bob Stetson.
Young Bush, Bob Stetson. Anybody second?
I'll second.
Okay, Kevin.
I think we ought to have an election.
So what?
I said, I think we ought to have two. We ought to vote. Nobody seconded it, we wasn't going to get to vote.
All right, any more motions? Ready to go? Mark Barker.
I'll vote for myself.
Okay. Russell Reed.
Mark.
Okay, Todd Oliver.
Mark Barker.
Jimmy Mingles.
Mark Barker.
Jim Bush.
Bob.
Okay, Kevin George,
I vote for Bob.
Sam Higgins,
Mr. Barker.
Tony Neal,
Mark.
Mr. Jones.
Bob.
Bob Jackson.
Nixon said if you can't vote for yourself, why should anybody else? Yeah, I'm voting for myself.
6 for Mark Parker, new chairman.
All right, Mark.
You want to do the rest of this meeting, or?
No, it's yours.
Okay. I'll be glad to let you have it, since you've had this and done this agenda. You
Hold on a second, let me, you don't have everything that I had on it.
Well, I will,
We need to elect the pro chairman.
yeah, we'll do that
Pro tem.
next.
Put that in right here. Give that to me.
And that's Mark.
I don't mind letting you finish this one out.
That's good. The only thing I ask is that the people that are here and then Miss Linda Bedwell have asked to go first. They have got more stuff tonight.
Okay. Linda wants to be moved up.
Right.
Okay,
And so that would be before Clinton.
okay.
We got a pro
We're
tem.
gonna do pro tem
Pro
next.
tem chairman first.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, motion made, I meant ain't nobody made, who wants to make the motion?
I'll nominate Bob Stetzel.
I'll second.
Jim.
Anybody else?
Move in that Bob acclamation.
Okay, Bob, you the pro tem chairman.
Okey-doke. I appreciate the 2 years that you allowed me to be chairman here.
Well, I'm honored by your support and your vote of confidence, and I hope a year from now, those of you that didn't vote for me will be glad that at least I've been fair and honest with you. And I compliment Bob for those things he's done. Many of the changes Bob's done, I agree with. And we're going to continue those changes. We're going to have a pledge and a prayer before our meetings. We're going to continue to require adequate notice before our meetings. Bob started the pledge and the prayer, and I'm thankful for that. And he also reiterated that we need to abide by Robert's Rules of Order, and I want to continue that too. And I need your support and if we work together, we'll be all right.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
Bobby had went by the committee reports.
Okay, are there any committees that need to report? Any committee chairmen that are out here in the audience? Glenn? Anybody else?
Hi. If it's all right, I would like to request to be moved up in the hazard
Okay.
mitigation plan.
Just as soon as Ms. Bedwell gets done,
If I may.
we'll get to you next. Any of the commissioners that are on committees, do you need to report anything?
The only thing I've got, Mark, I like to stress on mine, the commission asked me the last time to have the engineer look at the convenience center, and they're going over and just seeing. I don't have anything for you tonight, but they are looking at it to see if we can, I believe Judy used the one that brought that up, to make it more
friendly.
handier and get the traffic in and out better, but they are working on it, and that's all I.
Okay. All right. Get on this other agenda here. So next on our agenda, I'm going to recognize Ms. Linda Bedwell. She's the director of the REACH program, and she wanted to address us.
I just wanted to update everybody on how REACH is starting out this year and tell you that we are off to a good start. Last year we served 127 students in the grammar school sites, 93 in our credit recovery for a total of 220 students. 37 of the grammar school kids were on scholarship. Today we have 101 kids at the grammar school sites, but we only have 8 on scholarship so far this year. This number should build as the year goes on. It usually does. The sliding scale this year is the same as last year, with $5 the minimum and $30 the maximum per week. And we're striving to put as few as we can on scholarships. If I can, one of our students would like to just speak to the board and tell you a little bit of what he thinks of the program. Ethan?
Come on up, young man. Tell us your name.
Ethan Duke.
Okay.
What I like about it is that, first of all, I like recess. And they help me get my homework done and good grades. And all of them are very, very nice. And I like the part about it is that if I don't get done with my homework, then if it's like due on Friday and it's Monday, they can help me whenever, you know.
That's good.
And he's soon going to be a black belt.
Wow.
So you better pay attention.
That's right. Thank you, Ethan.
Thank you very much.
He goes to West Side. He's one of our West Side students. Once again, we have the backpack program. This is where we send a package of nutritious, kid-friendly food home with the students that might not have enough to eat for the weekend. Our focus this year is still on math, reading, and science. As we all know, without math and the ability to read, you cannot accomplish much else. This year, we've established an advisory board, and they've been working nonstop. Plus, the advice and management is priceless for me. We've also have a group of friends that has joined, or that has formed the Friends of After School Kids group. The American Legion Post 279 has joined in with this group to help sponsor the After Kids schools. On August the 3rd, this group hosted a horse show, and it was a tremendous success. Rita Cook and Colonel Stone headed it up and did a fantastic job. Rita, do you want to speak to something about the horse show and tell them what else we have planned? You're Colonel Stone, either one? Colonel Stone?
I'll just say very briefly, hey, this is a great program. If you haven't been to one of these schools to see how the program operates, you need to go. It's a good program. It's for our kids. And these kids someday going to be sitting where you're sitting right now, because Mark's a good example of that. First time I ever come to one of these things, his daddy was sitting right there. And this is where the country is for our kids, and we want to do all we can do to help our kids. And we appreciate anything you can do for us.
Besides the horse show, this group has got planned at the Kansas City barbecue cook-off that they're having. Colonel Stone has got us, we're going to do a concession booth there at no charge, or the Friends are, the after-school program. The beans and cornbread competition is going to be November the 16th. That's something new they're bringing in. They're talking about doing a poker run. Our committee member, Terry Parker, has made much needed repairs for the program county-owned buildings at the Woodbury site. The Friends have already made a donation to Reach in the amount of $1,500 for classroom supplies and $581.50 for ink and toner for printers and copiers. They already made us a donation for that. Another event that I want to tell you about is the nationwide Lights On After School Alliance programs. The Lights On events are to bring awareness to the need for after school program for latchkey kids, a safe place for our kids, a place for them to receive a snack every day, and help them to be better achievers in school and life. Our Lights On event is going to be called Movie in the Park at the Dillon Park on October the 18th. We're still working out the details on that, but we would like to invite you and your family to come out and help us celebrate for Lights On After School. Now, the subject that y'all been waiting on is money, I know, but Faye Northcutt Knox is helping me. We're working on the 501c3 status, so she has been working with me on that. Last year we had two grants, the 21st Century Grant for $97,000 and the LEAPS Grant for $56,225 for a total of $153,225 grant in grant money. This year, we have the same 2 grants, but the numbers are a little different. The 21st Century is for 107 this year, and the LEAPS is for 54. They did take it down to $2,225 based on our number of students with the overall program. For a total of $161,000, we will receive $6,775 more from these 2 grants this year than we did last year. As you all know, we got some bad publicity in the Cougar headlines a while back. We, the board and I, want to update you on the actual figures for last year on the ending date of June the 30th, 2013. Reach actually closed the year out at the end of the year 79 cents over budget instead of $7,000 as was reported. We ask that these correct figures be published in the Cougar so the public can see that we were very close to budget and that these facts were headlined before all the figures were in. The advisory board, the Friends group, and I appreciate all the support that you guys give us. We would like to invite each of you to go to our Facebook pages, Friends of After School Kids and Kenner County Reach After School Program, and like us and check our kids and sites out. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Any questions for her?
Yeah, I do. I'd like to have clarification on that. The place where it showed $7,000 came from your record.
Before all of the money was in.
Well, what I mean is you sent us that figure.
For a budget amendment.
Right.
Right.
$7,000.
Right. That's what was Diane sent over to me.
Right.
But then when all the money came in and Diane got through with everything, we were 79 cents over budget.
We're glad of that.
Linda, what's the chance of extending the REACH program?
None right now unless I can get more money.
Well, did I understand that they cut your grants because you had less students?
On the $54,000, they gave, I forget what the number was, but it was per student, and over the whole state, that's how it was cut to $2,225. No, it was $2,225. But we were raised from 97 to 107 on the other one.
Yeah.
So it balanced out.
Okay.
Actually, we got a little bit more.
So how many schools is in the REACH program now?
Oh, Short Mountain, Woodbury, and Westside.
3 schools.
And we had written a grant trying to get another grant. If we had, we would have been opening up Woodland, but we didn't get it.
Okay, thank you.
Is FAA helping you get these 501c3 back in force? Would that help you be able to
Absolutely.
open
We could
another
apply for a lot of other grants that we're not allowed to until we get that.
Okay. Well, maybe that'll come to pass too.
Right. And if it does, then that would enable us maybe to open other tests.
Can the media put out that they're again striving to get the 501c3 and also reflect the updated numbers on their budget, if you don't mind? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, who else need to be?
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
My name's Terry Parker. I'm Ethan Duke's granddaddy. I'm also a foster parent and an adoptive parent. I have 2 kids, actually 3 kids. Kristen was one of mine I adopted, but she went back to her father. And all 3 of my children go to Westside. Now, Woodland School, they got 27 people, I believe, kids that want to go to REACH program in Woodland, but we don't have the money to open up Woodland School. So, that, to my way of thinking, that's 27 kids that's not benefiting from what REACH and the After School Kids program can offer them as they do my kids and other kids. And people can say what they want. They're not a babysitting service. They actually there to help with the kids, help them with the preparation for their growth. Like Ethan said, playing in the playground, helping them with the homework, hugging them when they need a hug. So I'm not the only grandparent in Woodbury and Cannon County that's adopted their kids or fostered some children. We need more people like us to do that. But I think if we had the money to help open Woodland, that'd be 27, maybe more kids that would benefit by keeping this. Thank you.
Thank you. Have you talked to your third district school board member or the commissioner in that district about, that possibility of getting another grant, and try to move this forward and increase? Now that we've got Reach on a firm foundation, I think we need to grow it.
I think Ms. Bevan was, she's talking about the 501c program. If we can get that hooked up, then that would offer us other opportunities, not only to open up Woodland, but maybe a couple others as well,
Yes.
So there are kids in Cannon County that have a need.
Well, the principal at Auburn really wants. She has talked to me numerous times.
And Jim here from the Woodland District is serving on the Reach Board, and he's worked diligently to try to keep it going and on the right track.
Yeah, well, we got new people now from the old regime, and things are starting to happen for the kids.
That's good.
For Reach. I personally am going to put down vinyl flooring in the Woodbury main Reach building. We're going to go in there and put new vinyl flooring in there for them, and try to pressure wash the buildings and stuff like that, and try to get everything up to snuff. So we're doing our part. We're asking the commission to help do their part, to help us do our part. You know what I'm saying?
A program like that does need good volunteers, and I appreciate that. Anybody else? All right, next we're going to talk about the FEMA. Where's my FEMA lady? Right here.
Good evening. Earlier this evening, I passed out a letter to the commission, which you have a copy, from FEMA. The last time we met, you voted for approval for the draft hazard mitigation plan for submission to TEMA and FEMA. That plan was submitted. What's in front of you is the result. Your hazard mitigation plan has been approved pending your formal adoption tonight. That's the last action needed for the plan to be booked and filed with FEMA and with TEMA. So there is a resolution of adoption that is needed to close it out. The letter in front of you explains that process. The resolution was provided to the county executive's office and is up for adoption tonight. The plan was submitted and reviewed by TEMA, then by FEMA with absolutely no revisions. So
Absolutely, you know what?
no revisions. It went through on first pass.
Okay.
Did you have a copy of that resolution, Bob?
I have,
The hazard mitigation thing?
yeah, the one from where you have the city of Auburn, the town of Woodbury.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you need it?
No, not right now. We need to vote on it, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did everybody see there a copy of it? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve this resolution.
I'll
to
make
accept
that
the
motion.
hazard mitigation plan.
Final adoption.
I'll make that motion.
All right, Bob made it. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Jimmy Mingle seconded. Do we need to call a roll?
Mark Parker,
Yes?
Russell Reed,
Yes.
Todd Osborne,
Yes.
Jim McNeil,
Yes.
Jim Bush,
Yes.
Kevin George,
Yes.
Lynn Higgins,
Yes.
Tony Neal,
Yes.
Jim Jones,
Yep.
Bob Stepson,
Yes.
all five.
Thank you, and you'll be in touch if we need to make any revisions in the future, right?
Absolutely, and I would like to congratulate your committee. They served very, very well and diligently. And if I might, before I leave this evening, Mary Ann, can you secure a copy of that for me?
Does
We
that,
need to have
does that
for-
copy that we signed a minute ago, does he need to sign it since he?
That was an attendance.
That was an attendance thing. The resolution.
It's just an
And I
attendance.
apologize for holding the meeting up.
Well,
The
it's not-
original
it don't have to
resolution
be,
has to go back to FEMA.
They just have to show that there's somebody,
With
that
us,
there is
so
people
if-
in attendance.
I believe,
He was
Mayor,
there,
you
I'm
need
just-
to sign
Right.
He's there and he
that,
voted.
and, yes, there's a signature page somewhere.
No, there was,
Diane may have that.
You didn't?
Diane might, cause
She sent
I got
it
mine
around.
over.
She sent it around before you got here.
Internet.
Again, thank you all very much for your time.
You have your signature page? I didn't get the attendance signature page.
No, I'm sorry. Mike, here it is.
voted.
Yeah, he's got that.
Name ain't on there.
Attorneys and everybody else.
Jim
is
Tam also
sitting
on there.
Yeah.
Anyone who did not sign the sheet,
You
please
go
let me
ahead
know
and
now.
let him
so
sign,
that-
yeah, while we go on.
there. You might want to white out what I put down there.
Number 8 on the agenda that was mailed out was for Clint to address the commission, but I understand that you are still working on your details. And if you want to talk to Clint about what he's proposing, he's going to do it in a month or two. And you can do that after the meeting or something like that, but he's got a proposal that he'd like to make. Is that correct?
Well, I'll just wait till October.
That's right.
And
That's
propose
right.
all at once.
And we'll get that on the agenda for October. Number 9, Tony Stinney would like to address the commission.
Tony needs to briefly address the commission.
Briefly. Well, he's not going to get long-winded.
Oh.
I want to go ahead and pass these out first. These are just an invoice for each of you for, you want to pass them around. This just reflects the amount of money that we being the high school baseball program, no funds from, the school board, any other agency like that. This was monies and stuff that we owe through what we've done. And we're not asking for any money here tonight. This is just part of what I wanted to talk about. I would like to preface this by saying we have had absolutely no problems working with the Dixie Youth Program out there. The concern for me is this. The last 2 years, there has not been, actually the last 4 years, there has not been a team offered 12 or up that would play on the field that we use. So that field pretty much just sat over there not being used. The last few years, we have programs in the fall, we play a summer league, and then of course we're over there all spring. So we use the field quite a bit more than the high school program has been accustomed to up until 2 years ago. In that time, I feel like we've seen players show great individual improvement, and we have some kids coming up in the program that have opportunities, to have some scholarships and continue their careers beyond here. So what I'm asking for here tonight is this. Basically, my understanding, as I only found out about a year ago, was that those fields belong to the county, not Dixie Youth, which I was led to believe the first 2.5 years I was here. I'm asking for us to be able to more or less protect this investment. We've already put close to over $18,000 in. We're still paying on that and anticipate that will be paid off this year. Last year we tried to tarp our mound. We tried to tarp home plate. You go out there and the tarps are removed, the stakes are removed, and kids are playing in it. You have to run them off. There's just no way to protect the field. And so what I'm asking is that the high school baseball be responsible for the upkeep, maintenance, and everything to do with that field. We would still answer to the county commission, but the problem is with the Dixie Youth, year to year that's changing, the leadership changes, there's no consistency really from year to year. So you never know who you're dealing with or what you're dealing with. I would prefer that if we're operating that field and taking care of business, if there's a concern, we would deal with the county commission. I don't feel like there'd be a concern. Really, all we're asking is to officially be given what we're doing anyway, if that makes sense. My thing is, having coached there a 1.5 years before I even had a clue who I needed to answer to, I see that as a potential problem. The other thing I'm trying to make sure doesn't happen before it does is with leadership changing every year. We all know there's the possibility that somewhere down the line there might be a president or board member whose son, things didn't work out the way they might have thought they should have in the high school program. And right, wrong, or indifferent, grudges are held, and I don't feel like we need to have a situation down the road that could come up where, no, just can't get on that field today, we need it, what have you. So those are some of my concerns, the biggest of which, though, is you have to put money into these fields. If our parents, and our parents have raised a lot of money in 2+ years and continue to do so, all of that runs through the school. So you know, we don't ask anybody for money. We've done everything ourselves and will continue to do so, but we've put a lot of money into that field to have no control of it. And the other part of it is there's a lot of riffraff down there around that field. There are times that I get calls of what our players are down there doing only to get there, and none of those guys are our players. And I had a former player that I tried to have leave there who was arrested at the high school for drugs. I was told that this was a public field and there was nothing I could do about it. So that's when I asked to be on the agenda to see what I could do. I've had to call the Woodbury Police Station numerous times to have them patrol by there and run people off, whereas I feel like if we could just lock the gates and tarp things and keep people out, we would be in a lot better situation. So I guess in a nutshell there, I'm not asking for any support financially or anything like that. I'm just asking for you guys to officially make us responsible for the upkeep and maintenance. Ms. Parker is aware of this. I went to her before asking to be on the agenda. Principal Jones is aware of this as well. So this comes with their support in addition to me being here.
Who told you it was a public field and they could be there? Well, any official, or was it the...
Oh, no, it was the student who was arrested at the high school. It was a former player who felt like he'd be down there whenever he wants to be. And obviously this kid was arrested last year, so I have many players on the team that still have a somewhat of a relationship with him. Against my will or not, I can't pick their friends for them. But I feel like I need to be able to, you know, control who's on that field and who's not on that field. You know, I think that's pretty important. And like I said, I mean, we're willing to do all this work and put the money in. We're not asking for any of that.
You said that you know, your families, your parents and everything else are helping you raise this money, but somebody had to go for this loan. You had to go for a loan, right? Because it says that it was due on 4/28. You paid this company.
The Southern Athletic Fields, yeah.
Okay.
The owner of that is a good friend of mine, Bill Marbett. So basically he knew our situation here as far as the field and everything. They do Major League Baseball fields, the majority of the colleges, and pretty much all of the high schools in the state of Tennessee. So he was willing to, in fact, this is about 40% less than all that work would have been. But he was willing to do that to help us, and pretty much in good faith.
Okay, so he's holding the note on it.
That's right.
Okay, I'm a little bit, your baseball field is not, I mean, your baseball team is not sponsored by the school.
Well, I mean, we are.
I mean, they have nothing.
But they don't fund us. We get no money, you know, none of the programs at the high school get money. I mean, we're not separate of that. The other problem is that, you know, you don't see a lot of this going on at the high school because nobody's going to go down to the football field and have these problems. No one's at the softball field. We're the only program at the school that has to go off campus to do our thing.
Yeah, is this, Tony, is this, who is going to take, you know, that's going to be hard for us to give over that property to a, something that like the school is not, you know, who do we go back on? When do we get our property back? You know, all this
I don't
other
think
stuff.
you're relinquishing. I'm not asking for the property to be relinquished. I'm asking for us to be responsible, but answer to the county commission.
You're
not
playing
to
on it
Dixie
right now,
Hughes.
right?
Sir?
You're playing on it right now.
Have been for 2+ years.
Got the banners around for all the advertising.
Yes, sir. And we just took those down Saturday because now we're getting into off season and didn't want them to get stolen.
Okay.
We pay for the field to be mowed. I mean, we pay for all of that stuff that's being done out there as it is.
And when you say you're not sponsored by, that's the way the athletic teams are done. The school system pays the coaches' salaries.
They pay a supplement.
A supplement to the teachers to coach that, but they don't fund money for the football or the softball or the girls' soccer or anything else.
What's the difference in us letting him lock the field up where he can take care of it, and us paying to build a high school up there and
No,
handing
yeah.
the keys over to the principal and letting them lock the gym up.
Before, who's the chairman of Dixie Youth right now?
The last, and I don't know that they voted in their new, Crystal Mason was last year's president. The president the year before that, Timmons, Mr. Timmons was the president before that. And really, like I said, dealing with them hasn't been a problem. There were times last year, they just didn't understand, like we're getting ready for a high school game and they want to come over there and ask that we not hit during the game until the T-ball teams are finished. Well, I mean, you can't do that. So my thing is they need a net protecting from our field to theirs, and that's the next thing we want to do. But as I told the Dixie Youth people last year, we are currently paying on a $15,000 debt. I don't disagree that there needs to be a net there, but the high school and Dixie Youth have played on that field, I'm assuming, for many years before I got here.
Together a long time.
And we made it work. The only problem now is that we do a lot more out there. We're out there a lot, more visible, and so we're more of, I guess, nuisance when the T-balls is out there. And I'm all for that and protecting, but as I told them, until we're responsible for that, then I believe that's Dixie Youth's deal to put a net up to protect their children. When we're responsible for that, I want to look at getting the whole backstop done and a net from dugout to dugout that will kind of beautify yet protect everybody.
Now, you're the coach for the American Legion.
Also, yes, this summer, our summer program is run now through American Legion, and this past summer was the first year that had happened. That's an awesome program, most of you probably know about that. And we had close to 30 kids participate with us this summer, and I believe the men in American Legion, were proud of that team and what we did as well. We did not play any games here at all this summer to appease Dixie Youth and not be out there playing when their kids were trying to play. But when we get some things done, there's money we can make for that field by playing and hosting tournaments and stuff like that. We didn't get to play any home summer games, and that was inconvenient for a lot of our Legionnaires who would have liked to have seen the team but couldn't. Again, we don't have any problems. I'm just asking that we be responsible for what we're out there doing.
Go ahead.
Are your fences going to be a sufficient height in the outfield to keep people from climbing in?
Well, they are currently, the outfield and all the way around are currently, it's 8 to 10 feet. I understand that some people would still be able to jump out there, but you've got to make an effort to jump that fence and get over there. I don't see people doing that as much. I see kids coming out there and just playing. To them it's a big sandbox, and I understand that. I see kids sitting out there around the bleachers throwing gravel through the fence onto the home plate area. And those are two of the biggest areas of cost, because they get broken down the most. And I've got somebody waiting to come rebuild our mound now, but I'm asking that they wait until this because we'd like to rebuild it and then tarp it immediately to protect it. But, I just don't want to spend any more money on that field if we can't really protect that investment.
I'm kind of like Kevin. I don't see much different than building a school and then handing the keys over to the principal.
There's not any, and he can't manage it without the keys.
But you're talking about limited access to the field too.
I'm not talking about limiting access. I'm glad you asked that question. I will work with anybody that wants to use that field. I prefer it be used. I want to start a 12 and under team here in the coming summers because I'm floored that the last 2 years our 12 and unders have had to go to Cookeville and Murfreesboro to play travel ball when there's a lot of good 12 and unders right here in this county. I would encourage them to be able to use that field. I would not limit access at all. Obviously, I would schedule it around what we're doing, but no, I am not trying to shut anybody out. I just want to be able to have a little better control of who's on it.
You want it better organized.
Yes.
It's kind of like with Matt. If you got a kid that wants to shoot ball on a Friday night at 7 o'clock, you can call Matt. He'll go down and open the gym.
Sure.
But he won't give you a key. And that makes it where he knows who's in there and he knows who's tearing up what and who's doing what.
He's regulating.
And he can manage it. And that's what he needs to be able to manage that field if we want it to be worth having.
Well, and I look at it, it's right there where it is, you know, and like you had noticed the banners and stuff. I mean, it could be really nice for this area, and driving by there, I think there's a lot of things like that we can do. But I absolutely would not want to keep anybody from, I want them to use it more. You know, that's what I'm looking for.
Well, the community center or the Lions Club or anybody else wants a bunch of riffraff hanging around down there. And the better we secure it, the less likely that is to happen.
So what do we need, a motion?
That's
How do
up
we
to
need
y'all now. We've got a field committee, I know that.
We get a parks and,
Let me ask a question too. How many fields is down there?
There's 4.
4 fields? Okay.
And
I
I
got
can
the
tell you-
Dixie Youth League that uses,
They use 3 of the 4.
Three of the
Since
4.
I've been here, the 3 years that field has not been used by anyone but us. We've had full control of the field. That's not been a problem, you know, getting it or anything. And it's not been used by anyone but us. Not Dixie Youth, no one down there has used that field or asked us. And I would also be willing to say anything that we were going to do to upgrade that field, like this kind of stuff, whoever I need to email, the chairman or who have you, I would always be glad to make sure you're informed of what we're going to do before we do it. So you can bring it here or what have you. But again, you know, all of those things we would pay for.
so they don't practice on the field or anything?
We do, they
No,
don't.
They don't.
No.
So really.
And what we've done in the past, and I have no problem with girls softball, at times their games get backed up and they'll want to use our outfield to warm up. Come on, you know, I mean, that's not a problem at all.
But you just want to lock it so you can keep it.
Yes, sir.
We want the authority to be able to get people that are messing with it out of there too, so.
Basically, what I do now is when it happens, I just call the police and they come out there and run them off. And that's kind of where this started was, you know, if you had more authority of this field, you would have the right to tell them, you know, no, this is the high school field or whatever. You know, so that's kind of part of it as
Can
well.
you make him a director over
And
the
it is the
field?
high school baseball
It
field.
needs to be the baseball coach.
It's a high school
Might be the
baseball
director
field,
of
just
that
like
field where he had
the
authority
grounds that the
to
high schools are on is
regulate
county
them.
ground.
Well, that needs to be given to the coach.
I think what
That
they
way,
do
if he-
is sometimes
if he
people
bails
look
out
at
and
it
runs,
differently
go somewhere
because
else next
it's
year, the
not
new coach
over
would
here.
would have control without us having to redo it.
I think they did.
All right, is that?
But it's
It just doesn't need to be his
more of
name.
a-
It needs
What
to-
is it? It's all
Yeah,
this.
the high school head coach.
Yeah.
That way, not Tony Stennett, but do it
Yeah.
as a.
Y'all need to discuss it more. Do you need to,
I was just entertaining.
get
I
hold
was,
of Dixie Youth and see what, the status is there, if they're with it?
if you made him, if you gave him the status of director of that field, the high school baseball coach would be the director, not necessarily not Tony, but the high school baseball coach, the director of that field. That would give them the authority to manage that field as they see fit.
Well, and in the email that I informed to Ms. Parker, I worded it the way you're saying, that it's not me, Tony, that's asking for this responsibility. It's whoever's the high school baseball coach. And as I put in the email to Ms. Parker, this individual, whoever would follow me, whenever it may be, should be informed up front that you are responsible for that field when they take the job. So that that's not a question of who's responsible over here. If they take the job, they know that's part of the job.
Well, Dixie Youth doesn't even use that one, so.
No, they do not use it. I can tell you for 3 years, I can assure you it's.
Well, no, I've never seen any of them over there anyway.
They go over and play on it during the
Right.
other games, which is why it stays tore up all the time. I don't know how to word it, but I make the motion, we do what you said.
I'd make a motion, we nominate, or make the director, the high school baseball coach, the director of the larger of the
Baseball
three,
field.
of the larger of the.
Yeah, the high school baseball.
The high school,
field.
make it the high school baseball field.
That's what, you seconded that? Got a motion by Clint, seconded by
Yeah.
Kevin George, to make the high school baseball coach, give him the authority to regulate the scheduling
Make him the director of the
Make him the
field.
director of the high school baseball field. Call the roll.
Mark Parker.
Yes.
Russell Reed. Yes. Bob Hollingsworth.
Yes.
Jimmy Mingle.
Yeah.
Jim Bush.
Yes.
Stephen George.
Yes.
Lynn Higgins.
Yes.
Tony Neal.
Yes.
Jim Jones.
Yes.
Bob Stokes.
Yes.
Hey, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Yes.
Cassie's getting an award at 6 o'clock. And they told me I've got to about 6:05 before they start. I'm going to cut out.
That's fine.
Y'all do
Wayne Prater
vote
wants
the way I
to
want you to.
address us. You can tell Kevin what you need. Thank you, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin, let me give you one of these, please. Talk to you later about it. Sure, pass those down that way. I don't need any vote or anything. I've just got some stuff I want to go over with you, what's going to transpire in our office in the next few months or so. You have some extra ones there. This first page, let me give one to the radio station too. The Courier has one already. Is a letter that we sent to Jim Arnett, the state controller's office, about taking partial payments on our taxes. And like I
On your
say,
what?
On our taxes, partial payments. And the second page is the response that we got back from them stating that they had approved our plan to take partial payments. And the third page is a draft of the paper we will have a taxpayer sign that chooses to make partial payments. The taxes are due, of course, from October the 1st through February the 28th without penalty. During that 5-month period, the taxpayer can choose. If they owe $1,000 in taxes, they can pay $200 a month for 5 months. Okay? Any follow me? And after February, it will receive the penalties for the full year until the February of the following year through March. Then they'll be turned over to the clerk and master. Even if they've made partial payments and they've only got $100 left, that will be sent to the clerk and master. It's a plan that was approved by the comptroller's office. The last page, we will start taking credit card and debit card payments the 1st of October of this year. There's no expense to the office at all. Mr. Gannon has gotten us a grant to take care of the expense on setting this up and everything, and what's needed will be online so that if you want to, you can from your own living room look up your taxes and call us and give us your credit card number, and we can take care of it just like that. Of course, the other options are still available. You know, you can pay them in the office or you can mail them in and so forth. Hopefully, and with the computer system and everything that we have now, if you pay a partial payment on your taxes, it will show, your receipt will show the payment that you made and how much is still owed. So keeping up with it now, it'll take a little bit more work on the trustee's office, but it won't be hard to keep up with, is what I'm trying to say, because of the computer system and all that we're on now. You have any questions or anything?
Yeah, you're gonna, so when you go with the partial payment, they will have to set up a certain amount every month then? You can't just come in and...
No, sir. They can pay, if they want to pay $5, if they owe $500 and they just want to pay $5 the first time they come in. But if they don't get it paid off within that 5 months, then it will start accumulating each month a 1.5%. But it would be nice if people would set it up on 5 months or less, you know. My biggest thing about this was if you make 4 payments, I got to see you 4 times a year instead of just one time, you know. But with the computer system, it'll make it much easier to keep up with.
I had always wanted to know, I wait till the last. Is there a lot of people that come and pay early?
Yes, sir.
You know, like October?
There's quite a few of older ones that pay early. There's a lot of people pay right in December. than a lot of people, later on in February.
You get it over.
Yes, sir.
Ours will be paid 1st October.
But people that have
Y'all get a
mortgages,
copy of that.
Wayne, people that have mortgages,
be February
that
28th.
escrow takes it out, they come in, the mortgage company,
Yeah.
and
They pay monthly?
That's easy.
That's the way mine's set up, that my land taxes escrowed into my payment every month.
Yeah.
And then the escrow
Yeah,
was
they-
gonna check the.
They usually send in,
It's much easier.
we're starting pretty soon, we'll start receiving checks.
That's still 1,300 at the end of the year.
You said that there's a grant
You're gonna
that
have
got
food with it that way.
to
You
expand
can go
on
out
this
automatically.
processing, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, keep this in mind. The TWRA, if you use a credit or debit card with them, they pass on a $5 charge to you.
This will be, and that was another objection I had to it, but we've looked at 2 or 3 different places through BSI, which they have 65% of the trustees' offices in Middle Tennessee. They will charge you, if you use your credit card, 2.75%. But we will tell you how much it's gonna cost you before you pay, and that's a lot of money, to pay with a credit card. But a lot of people, so I've been told, they like to do it just to get their frequent flyer miles, Doesn't make sense to me. I wouldn't want to pay that, just to use my credit card.
About 30% of our customers anymore don't have cash in their pocket.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a dollar cold drink.
The young people, younger than us, they don't use cash anymore. Not at all. Don't use checking
Debit
account.
cards now, ain't it?
Is there anything else?
It's easier.
I'll leave some of these. Let me leave.
Thank you, Wayne. Appreciate it.
I'll leave it right here. Maybe it'll help some people, a lot of people in the county, $1,000 in taxes is a hard thing to come up with at one time. So maybe it'll help. I hope so.
All right.
On the question,
Yes, sir.
once they have that computer system, can I look up in there and see whether or not you paid your taxes?
Yes, sir, you can.
Just asking for the
It's nothing, there's nothing private about it anymore. It's open records. It's open. And, let me say this, anytime you commissioners need anything that we can help with, feel free to holler at us. That's what we're there for. And there's nothing here, it's all wide open.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
Good question, too. Do you have another question? Okay. Moving on, number 11. This is held over from our last meeting
Is Ben Rogers here?
about the litigation tax.
Yeah. Ben was supposed to, see, Ben's got to go in there and he's got to take an average of a certain amount to make it
Do we need to hold it off to the
to
next
figure
meeting?
out, because he's supposed to get it to this week. He's supposed to get it to, but one of the things that we don't know, or that probably, and I don't want to say that y'all don't know this, but one of the things is, when this litigation tax was set out, the very first time that they set it out, that made it continue. We don't even have to ask for it. It's supposed to automatically go every year and update and get that kind of payment to make sure that it offsets the salary of the general session judge. And then, of course, then you got a raise, like the state workers get a raise or something, then the county workers get it like that. It's automatic. It's supposed to automatically do it every year.
But that's assuming.
Is it possible that it's already been done that way then? Can Ben answer that? Ben Rogers?
Well, Ben will whenever he
Okay.
goes
Is it
into
your suggestion that we put it on October's?
Yeah, because he's supposed to have it.
Okay.
Now,
I'll get him to have it send it to you.
You're also assuming that the judge is going to enforce this litigation tax too.
It wouldn't be the judge, it would be the clerk that would be enforcing it.
But the judge is the one that.
Yeah, the judge is going to have to say that here's the court cost. I mean, it's going to have to be included in the court cost.
All right. We'll put that on October's agenda. Number 12, you received in your packet a resolution on texting and driving.
You should have that, Jim.
and it's in our packets here.
Look on
It's from the
last page.
Tennessee County Services Association.
CDS.
And
Doesn't,
it's through the I Can Wait program.
Let me see if I can.
doesn't the state highway, doesn't Tennessee already recognize this law as isn't it a state law already?
Yes,
Then,
we are,
well, I'm,
we're just affirming and support It Can Wait National Day of Action.
September the 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah, this came out of Mike's office.
We're just getting on board with a program.
Other counties have done it. You're not saying this is the law. You're just showing your support. That's the way they explain it.
And in your brown truck, you don't want to meet somebody texting and driving either, do
I
you?
see them every day over in the driver's seat, sitting there playing on that phone. And you can pick them out because you can see them as far as.
They'll hit that line on either side, won't they? All right, do I hear a motion to make this resolution?
I make a motion to
I'll
approve.
second.
Clint does. We'll just do a voice vote. All in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Gotcha. Next on our agenda, other business. I wanted to congratulate Kevin Mooneyham, but he's already left, hasn't he? He slipped in and he's
Was he
already-
even here?
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
sitting
he
right
was
over
here.
there for a few minutes, but he's gone, but
Mr. Chairman, if y'all will pass a vote, it don't have to be roll call, it can be a voice vote, commending him and authorizing me, I'll get him
some kind of
wall
plaque.
plaque or
All right.
like we have in the
Do I hear a motion to do that?
I'll
Todd
second.
made it, Clint seconded it, and all in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Mike, you get that done. And if Kevin wants to, we'll give it to him at our next meeting if he wants to. And I want to congratulate Mr. Jones. Welcome to this board. If you have any, do you have anything you'd like to say here to the group of us?
I was looking at this texting and driving thing. You know, I had a Rutherford County Sheriff's deputy pull over behind me not too long ago to find out when I stopped on the side of the road. And I told him it caused my phone rang. I don't even talk on the phone and drive. I can't imagine people texting and driving.
It's very distracting, that's right. All right. Yeah, we have any other business? Where's Ricky Cole? You got anything you need to bring to us? Updates, anything?
I'll have a resolution, I'll ask y'all to pass this one.
All right, you get it to me, and we'll get it on the agenda.
This is where we had also said that we were supposed to take this time to be able to set up, sometime be able to have a meeting. Kevin George and someone else thought it was a good idea to make sure that the people were included in giving their opinion on which way they want the bypass to go.
Yes, we did. I was going to bring that up. I'm glad you reminded me of it, though. John Naylor, 911. Anything? Fire. Want to make an update? Talk to us?
Good.
Industrial Board, you good too? I'm glad to have all of you here. Look, we got Glenn here, we got Ricky here, Industrial Board, Fire, 911, but we don't have, and the sheriff, I want to recognize you. All right. And let's get on the, we need to get with whoever with TDOT that we need to and have, set up a meeting to authorize, or give our opinion on which side of the town they should go on. And what do we need to do first? Do we need to just ask TDOT to meet with us?
I think if you was to get TDOT to give a date, then all we have to do is let you or Mike just publicize it in the paper saying that TDOT and the county commission is going to be
public hearing here.
Right, have a public hearing.
Open meeting.
Open meeting, whatever they call it.
Open
Town
meeting,
hall
whatever.
meeting.
Yeah.
Is this something there are options for it, or?
We're the
North or
we
south?
are the ones that tell the state
Jim,
which way to
I've
go.
got personal experience with this since they came through our property 23 years
yeah,
ago.
right.
23 years ago. At that time, they did not do that. The county commission, TDOT said where the best route was. They picked the best route. They did have public hearings for people to comment because they had 4 different 3 or 4 different routes.
Or 5, depending on where you were.
Yeah, depending on where you were. At that time, though, they did not involve the local government. But now, with the administration and TDOT that's there now, they feel like they need to include local governments just to make sure that everybody is on board with their plans. And that's a good thing. But it is different from the way it was 23 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's why none of us on the commission really knew that we had it, and you know.
Right, nobody knew.
We didn't know.
None of us knew.
All right. Those 2 things then, Ben Rogers and TDOT, we'll work on them for next month. If you have anything that you want to put on the agenda, see me. You've got my phone numbers, most of you do. And if you want, we'll try to get everything out early enough that we can, you know, have looked at it before we get here.
Jim
Yeah.
had got something on a
First
sunny slope.
District Commissioners, has anybody contacted y'all about them setting up a mud bog up from Sunny Slope?
No, actually that splits 2 districts, 1st and 3rd.
Mm-hmm. Sunny Slope does, yeah.
Well, what I'm saying, but it's gonna fall on First District.
What does Ivy Bluff do with theirs?
Well, I mean, they're in Ivy Bluff right now, but they're supposed to be putting another one up.
Ain't nobody said that to me. Now, Beans Diesel, they have a truck full down there about twice a year.
Well, I had some people from the First call me and asked me about it, and I referred them, you know.
They didn't call us.
Ain't nobody said nothing to me.
Bob, has anybody contacted you?
No.
All right, well, we'll just let it.
Anybody
see
here
what
from
happens.
Sunny Slope?
Part of it is.
It's on the edge. It's on the edge.
That's
of-
3.
It almost
It's
comes
the
to
meeting
that.
point for 3rd, 1st, and 4th.
Yeah, it butts up
Well,
against the
we'll-
1st and the
5th and
Thank you for bringing it to our attention. We'll keep our ears open. Any other business to come before the county commission?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make one comment.
All right, go right ahead.
I think most of you all by now probably have received your invite to our industrial board function, honoring the existing industry in Cannon County. We encourage you, Mr. John, I'm sorry, I sent you one. Did you receive yours? I think we did today. Yes. We encourage you all to be present, to show support to our industry that exists already in Cannon County, and just let them know that hey, whatever you all can do, that you're behind. So I appreciate your attendance and thank you for allowing me to say that.
And what's that date again?
24th
Of
October,
October 24th.
Thursday night, 6 p.m.
Anything else?
Make
I'll
a motion, we
enter-
adjourn.
I'll entertain that motion. You hear a second?
Second.
We're adjourned.
And it's